Welcome back to yet another episode of my NMCEAROPR, which stands for, of course, Normal Monotype Catch-em-all run of Pokemon Reborn. Last time, we defeated Entity Shade and collected 178 Pokemon. Before we get started, make sure to leave me a like, a comment, and subscribe so you can keep watching this series as I put it out. To start off the episode, I decided I wanted a Seismic Toss Blissey, so I got to work getting one. First, I evolved my Happiny into a Chansey, bringing the total to 179. I then did a little bit of chain breeding and got one with the move. I'll evolve it into Blissey a bit later. The next story area we're allowed to enter is the Black Steam Factory in Western Peridot Ward. After breaking in with Amaria, we get trapped in a room with a bunch of caged Pokemon. Luckily though, we can free one of them. By getting Makuhita teleported under Ditto, we can help Ditto escape. Finally, we complete the puzzle to escape. The key is to get Cyndaquil, then Vanillite, then Roggenrola all in front of the bars using Abra's teleport, and then using Loudred to deafen the player and Jigglypuff to put the guard to sleep. After doing that, we're able to melt, freeze, and smash the bars, letting us escape, bringing the total to 180. On the bottom floor of the factory, I pick up a magnet powder for a quest far later in the run, but it's good to cover it now. After clearing out the rest of the grunts in the factory, I enter the back room, where we find yet another pulse. It's time for a battle with Zell. I started with Chansey in the front of my team, which was kind of a problem since Chansey couldn't really do anything, so I switched to Pyroar to take on Glaceon. I didn't think about setting up, though maybe I should have, because I clicked Flamethrower and it instantly one-shotted Glaceon, but then Pyroar had to deal with Umbreon. I did get Crunch as a result of doing this, so that's a nice move that gives Pyroar a little bit more coverage. I went for Workup, hoping that I could maybe just sweep the rest of Zell's team, but Umbreon goes for Confuse Ray and then got a critical hit with Foul Play, both of which were able to take out Pyroar the next turn. Pretty annoying luck, but what can I do? He got Confuse Ray off on my Dodrio, who luckily was able to get off at least one Swords Dance boosted double hit. Unfortunately, thanks to another Confusion hit, Dodrio went down, so I was stuck sending an X-Blob to take out the last half of Umbreon's HP. My strategy here was just to go ahead and spam Echoed Voice as many times as possible, hoping to break through the confusion, and for the first time in this battle, I was able to do so, taking out Umbreon. Espeon was able to take out Exploud the next turn though, unfortunately, so with only two Pokemon of a high enough level left, I had to stand in Staraptor to take out Espeon. Aerial Ace and Quick Attack barely were able to do the job though, and I decided to learn Agility on Staraptor. So all that was left was the Pulse Muck. Pulse Muck has Protean, so it switches type every time it uses a move to the type of that move. He used Discharge to take out Staraptor, meaning it was an electric type, so I sent in Diggersby to click Dig. It switched to using Mud Bomb, which meant that Dig was going to be neutral against it, which is fine. Luckily, since Diggersby is such a tank, it managed to eat up all of the Mud Bombs that Muck threw at us and then 3-shot it. So that was pretty much all I had to do to take out Zell and win the battle. This episode, luckily, is very straightforward, so it's time for a ton of Pokemon collecting. Now that we have Ditto, there are a couple Pokemon we can get by breeding. First, I take the Nuzleaf we got from the last episode and breed it with Ditto to get Seedot. Next, I put Nidoran male in the daycare with Ditto. There's a 50-50 chance you'll get male or female Nidoran in this way, so I end up doing so to get a female Nidoran. When both of these eggs hatch, my new total is 182. As a result of biking around so much to hatch these eggs, my Chansey gained enough friendship to evolve into Blissey, bringing the total to 183. That finishes up our business in the city, so I take a boat to Apophel Beach in the southwest corner of the region. Here I pick up the Wave Incense, then run around on the beach for some encounters. Here I catch Sandygast and Polysand, bringing the total to 185. There are also rocks to smash in this area. By using Rock Smash, I'm able to catch Krabby, Binnacle, and Corphish. Then, I talk to a stationary Pyukumuku for a battle and catch one. This brings the total to 189. Off the main area of the beach, I enter the training grounds of the Apophel Academy. Here, I'm able to Rock Smash some more boulders and catch Shuckle, bringing the total to 190. I head to the far northwest area of the beach while it is thunderstorming to find Corsola. By giving it some snacks, it joins us, bringing the total to 191. Inside Apophel Academy, I talk to a girl who wants us to steal her a TV. So of course, as the good moral citizen of the Reborn region we are, we do just that, and we're rewarded with another department store sticker. Next, we go upstairs in the Apophel Academy and talk to a couple nerds who are reading books about meditation. After we do that, we go talk to somebody who, as a reward, gives us Monotype. This brings the total to 192. Back outside, near where we found Corsola, I enter the Apophel Cave. By running around, I'm able to catch Stunfisk and Crabrawler, bringing the total to 194. I also smashed some rocks in the cave, where I'm able to catch Nosepass, bringing us to 195. At the southwest side of the beach, I enter the Pyrus Mountain. Here, we're able to fight even more wild Pokemon. We're able to catch Sock, Throw, Magcargo, Alolan Diglett, and Alolan Dugtrio. Keeping in mind we already had caught Cantonian Diglett, this brings our total to 199. Finally, by going all the way down to the bottom level of the mountain, we can smash a pillar to battle Turtonator. We catch it, bringing this episode's total to an even 200. That's all the Pokemon we can catch in this episode, so all we have to do is 3 more boss fights. First is Cal on the top of Pyrus Mountain. Cal's team centers around the fire type, and the battle takes place on the superheated field. So, as a result, I tried to see what I could do if maybe I sent in Pyroar to get some workups going at the start, but I forgot that he leads with Barbaracle. So, I spent the first turn switching to Diggersby to eat up Rock Slide, and then I went for Dig. Dig was able to take out Barbaracle in one shot, luckily, so that was that. Unfortunately though, he sent out Charizard, which of course, due to its flying type, means I won't be able to hit it with Dig. I switch in my new Imposter Ditto, to see what I could kinda do against the Charizard, because I didn't really have any better options. My Ditto ate up his Fire Punch first, and then fired back with a Thunder Punch. His Charizard was able to take me pretty low with Thunder Punch, but thanks to the speed tie, I managed to get the win on the second strike and take it out. Dragon Claw didn't do very much to Turtonator though, and Turtonator was able to take out my Ditto transformed into Charizard. Luckily, Turtonator, however, is not flying type, so I went right back into Diggersby to see if I could use Dig to take it out. Turtonator went for Flamethrower and missed, so that was it for it. Next came out Typhlosion. Typhlosion can be pretty frustrating in this game because they use good use of its ability and its move pool, but it went for Solar Beam, and since there was no Sun out on the field, Dig was able to take it out the next turn. Hakamo'o came in next, and unfortunately barely was able to live my Diggersby's use of Bounce, and took it out the next turn. That's fine though, because I took out most of the threats of his team, so I sent in Staraptor to see what I could do against Hakamo'o. Unfortunately, they healed up, so my Quick Attack was not able to take it down. And then, Staraptor went for Aerial Ace on a switched-in Magmortar who managed to burn it. Pretty unfortunate, but I guess what can I do? I went for Close Combat the next turn, which luckily got a critical hit, so it fought through the burn a little bit more, but wasn't able to take out Magmortar completely. After a little bit of Electric-type action, Staraptor went down. Next I sent in Pyroar, thinking it would be pretty easy to just be able to take out Magmortar with an Echoed Voice. Unfortunately, Echoed Voice didn't kill him the first turn, but luckily Focus Blast missed, meaning all I had to do was use it one more time. Unfortunately, Hakamo'o, however, has Soundproof, so my attempt to use Echoed Voice to take it out didn't work, so it took out Pyroar. That's fine though, I have 2 more Pokemon in my team, so I sent in Dodrio to see what I could do against Hakamo'o. All I had to do was click Pluck, and I was able to win the battle against Cal. Next up, I had to face Victoria before being able to take on the gym leader. I started with Staraptor in the front of my team to match up against her Pangoro. 2 Aerial Aces was all I needed to take it out. Unfortunately, Raichu came in next, so Staraptor wouldn't have been able to stay around for long, so I switched into Diggersby to absorb the electric attack that Raichu used. Psychic didn't do much at all to Diggersby, so Dig took it out the next turn. Next up, she sent in Gallade. I decided I would go for Bounce on Diggersby, but I didn't know that she had Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade took Diggersby down to very low, but then a critical hit on Bounce was able to take out Gallade the next turn despite her Sword stance, so crisis averted. Mienfoo took out Diggersby the next turn though, which is fine because all I had to do was go ahead and send Staraptor back in, getting Intimidate off on the Mienfoo. I went for Aerial Ace, but it switched to Incineroar, which in turn took Intimidate and put that on Staraptor instead. As a result, I thought it might be fun to try to switch into Ditto again. Ditto is pretty fun of a Pokemon to use, especially when it has Imposter, because you just get to switch in on something and then copy its moveset. So I did just that. I used Thrash, and luckily was able to outspeed it on the second hit of Thrash, meaning Ditto was able to take down her Incineroar. All she had left was sending Mienfoo back out, so I was able to try to attack it with Ditto, but not quite succeed, so I sent back in Staraptor with Intimidate to take out Mienfoo for good. Mienfoo went for Force Palm, which got a critical hit and paralyzed me, so it didn't quite work out the way that I had hoped, but with 4 Pokemon still in my party, I figured I'd be just fine. All I had to do was send in Dodrio and go for Pluck, and Victoria was taken down. Pretty easy fight, but there's a little bit harder of a fighting type gym leader I gotta take on next. Next up, I have to fight Kiki on the Ashen Beach field. Her team of fighting types starts with Machamp, so I decided to go ahead and lead with Staraptor, A to get Intimidate off, and B to go ahead and go for some Aerial Ace. I use Agility on the second turn because I realized I'd be able to survive another one of Machamp's attacks, so I do just that. Unfortunately though, she sends in Hitmonlee third after I take out her first 2 Pokemon, and is able to take down Staraptor with Fake Out, as well as get an Unburden boost. I send in Dodrio, who's able to barely live a high jump kick with 2 HP, and then take out that exact Pokemon. I send in Dodrio next, and go for a Sword Stance to bait out his Toxicroak Sucker Punch. Luckily, I was able to outsmart the AI, and Sucker Punch Toxicroak wasn't able to do anything, nor was Medicham, nor was Gallade against my Dodrio, meaning I got a pretty easy win on this gym leader, to be honest. Maybe if Toxicroak had used Sucker Punch again, it would have been a little bit smarter, because then I wouldn't have been able to sweep with Dodrio, but what can you do? That's all I needed to do to defeat Kiki, but unfortunately, she doesn't give us a gym badge either. For what it's worth, that's the last time this happens in this game, and we will get a gym badge from every gym leader we defeat from here on out, but that's okay. Anyways, thank you for watching today's episode. Subscribe to my channel for more Pokemon content. And, as always, have a good one.